In this video, I'll give you a step-by-step tutorial of how you can implement a system which scores leads and gives them a priority in your creative agency or any other type of business. First, I'll start with a quick overview inside of Miro before going through a live demonstration to create the system with Google Sheets and ChatGPT. So first, why do we even need to score leads? It allows your agency to choose and focus on leads that have a higher conversion chance. It allows your agency to set priorities to each lead, such as normal, higher, urgent. So it basically means that you can, once leads have been scored and set a priority, you can then assign certain sales reps certain time to leads who've ranked highly and have a high priority attached to them because they, will tend to have a higher budget or have a business type or a business size that is ideal for you to work with. One thing is clear, and that is that the old method of scoring leads manually is gone. This new system does everything automatically via Google Sheets. So how to do it? First, you need to capture leads. This is best done through Calendly. You create a call scheduling link and include 3 qualification questions. For example, what's the business budget? What's the business size? What's the business type? It should look something like this by Calendly. And then you're going to create an automation in make.com to take the lead from the form submission to Google Sheets. You could start with something very simple like this. Obviously, in this example, you'd replace Google Forms with Calendly or cal.com. After that, you ask ChatGPT to create 2 custom formulas to put into Google Sheets to score and prioritize the leads based off of your 3 lead qualification questions. I've created a custom prompt that can just be drag and dropped and adjusted, and that you literally just plug that into ChatGPT and it will create the formulas for you, and it'll explain the reasoning behind the formulas, and so you can go in and tell ChatGPT to adjust certain things. And finally, you create 2 new columns in Google Sheets named score and priority, and you paste the formulas into them and drag them down. And then whenever a lead is captured and their info is sent to Google Sheets, they'll also automatically be scored and set a priority. So the first step is to create a call booking link inside of Calendly. This would look something like this. So if say, I'm a creative agency, or I'm a lead who's looking to book a call with a creative branding agency, let's say, I go and click on their Calendly scheduling link to book a call with them, fill out these details, and then as I get down here, I have 3 qualification questions, and this is where we can score leads off of. For example, the business size, their budget, and the business type. You could have 2 qualification questions if you wanted to. You could have 5. 3, I find, is the best balance because the more questions you have, the higher the chance that a lead is just going to scrap the call and end up not booking because it's just an extra step, an extra question to have to think about. After this, you're going to want to create the formula. How the formula works is you can see here it's pasted into Google Sheets. And so if you go here, this is the custom prompt that I've built, I've written. And this prompt, you just customize, put into ChatGPT, customize, and it'll give you the formulas in the more or less the exact format that you want. So what this says is I want to automatically assign lead scores and priorities to leads being captured from booking a call with make.com or Google Sheets. In my Google Sheet, I collect leads. Each lead that gets captured has their own row in Google Sheets. There are lots of rows with different titles in the sheet. Leads are scored based on a few multiple choice form questions, which they can fill in after booking call, etc., etc. One thing which I forgot to mention, which you'd want to set up before this, is the process by which you take leads from this landing page, this call booking link, and actually get them into Google Sheets. And to do this, there's this sort of automation system which I've built in make.com. You'd replace Google Forms with Calendly here. And what this system does is it searches January rows. So over here, you could replace this with quarters as well. So instead of having January, February, March, you could have Q1, Q2, Q3. And what this does is it searches January rows if the lead exists. So their email already exists in the database in January. You'd update the row, then delete them from January and add them to the latest month, which is March. If the lead's email does not exist, then you search February, do the exact same thing. Then you search March, and this is the latest month. If the lead does not exist, then you add them as new. If the lead does exist, then you update them. And that's a simple automation, relatively simple automation to set up to basically take leads from Calendly, search for any new responses, and paste them from Calendly into Google Sheets. This has just been done with Google Forms as an example. Yeah, then after this, if you come back to the prompt, you're going to say to ChatGPT, explain context of what you want it to do to create lead scores. You can explain you're doing this on Google Sheets. You can explain rows, columns, how you want leads to be scored. And then you say, I will give you the call booking questions. So that's essentially these three questions here: the budget, the business size, the business type. You just write that in. Which columns the answer to the call booking questions are put on. So you'd say on column F, you have budget. On column G, you have business size. On column H, you have business type. And then what the selection of answers to each booking calls are. So the potential answers for what is your budget is this, 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 and this. The potential answers to what is your business size is this, this, and this, etc. And after this, you say what the answers to each question mean. For something like budget or business size, is quite straightforward because the higher the budget, the higher the business size, the higher the lead will score. However, for a question like what is your business type, ChatGPT, without any context, ChatGPT has no idea what it means. So you have to tell ChatGPT, my preference is working with local businesses, so I want you to rank local businesses the highest. However, we can also work with other. So when a lead fills out a form says other, that is also okay. However, we don't want to work with agencies or freelancers, so I want you to score them very low or zero. And after that, you tell it what you want ChatGPT to do, which is to create the formula to put in the score column, and then the formula below, create a formula to put in the priority column, where leads can either be prioritized as urgent, high, or normal, depending on their score. Now, this sentence here is saying that is basically, it says to ensure you are not calculating value for lead score and lead priority when a row is empty, modify both formulas so that there will be a score priority to rows that have values for the call booking questions. So what this means is if you go into Google Sheets, and if I drag this formula down to here, now you can see there is no value here for score. However, if I didn't include this last sentence into ChatGPT, what would happen is it would assign scores on rows, even though there are no values for budget, business type, and business size, and you don't want that. It just keeps everything neat. This is just some more context. So what you do, you copy this and paste it straight into ChatGPT, and then you just adjust all the questions. So call booking questions, and I'll just fill this out and get back. All right, so I've now created, filled out all these custom details in ChatGPT in the prompt. So now if I send this, it's going to think. And this is the lead score formula, which I can literally just go and copy and paste straight into Google Sheets. And this is the lead priority column formula. One thing you have to be very important with when you're putting this prompt into ChatGPT is making sure you are accurate with all of the values. No spelling mistakes or anything, because that'll just mess up the scoring and the formula system entirely. Yeah, it'll give you the formulas, and then it'll explain the scoring system. So it'll say, the lowest budget is one, then it's two, then it's three, then it's four. Business size, you have one, two, three. Business type, four, three, two, one. Eight or more is urgent, five to seven is high, below five is normal. And then you can go into this and you can adjust it, and you can say, no, actually, I place really high priority on over 2,000 a month, so I want this to be scored as five. Or you can be a bit more harsh and say leads have to score nine or more to be considered urgent. And you can just type that into ChatGPT and it'll adjust the formula for you. I can also say, no, actually, freelancers and digital agencies, both of them I don't want to work with. So, please make both of them one. You just read the logic ChatGPT is using and you can adjust it should you wish to. But then you go here and you copy, or you can just copy here. And then if you go into your Google Sheet, make sure you've created new columns for lead score and lead priority here. And then you go in and you paste. And right now there's an error. So I have to go back and think about what the error is. All right, so one mistake that had happened in the system, which I didn't consider, was one thing being wrong, which is that the formula should be based on each specific row, because each lead is captured in a new row with new values for the three qualification questions. So I had to ask it to remake the two formulas. But now if I go in and I copy and paste this formula here, paste it here, and I drag the formula down, and then if I go here and take the lead priority formula and go here and drag it down, now, all right, and again, we've had one mistake, which is that although the lead score formula is fine, you can see here I've got a score of 7 right now. But if I go and I say that in row 2, the business size is actually 10 to 20 employees, the score goes to 9. You can see if I copy this digital agency and paste it in here, the score drops down to 6. If I go in and select over $2,000 a month, the score for this lead on row 5 is currently 6. But if I increase their budget, the score goes up to 7. However, one thing is wrong with the priority, and that is that I did not tell ChatGPT which column the lead score and the lead priority were on. And so what's happening is it was giving me a formula for lead priority, which was looking at another row when it should have been looking at row L for the score. So what I've said here, the lead score formula is on row L, adjust the lead priority formula. And then it adjusts it, and now it says go paste this into M2. So if I just open this up, paste it, and you can see it's automatically changed. And if I drag this down, you can see the priorities are different: high, urgent, normal, high. So now if I go into here, I want this to change from a high to urgent. If I paste this, local business, it changes it to priority to urgent. Sort of live updates. So that just shows how you have to have constant. You have to constantly test it. Now I might go and look at this prompt that I've given into ChatGPT and add a few details into it. Like now, I would have to say the specific row the lead score and the lead priority would be on, and I have to make it clear that the thing I said earlier, where everything is set to, you know, every lead is captured in a row with different values to the three qualification questions, etc., etc. Yeah, so I might have to adjust the prompt now, but it's constant, trial and testing. But now we've created a formula that works, and you can go and add this and paste this into every single month. So, yeah, and there you go. That is everything you need to know to be able to understand and implement a lead scoring and priority setting system for your agency. At least one within Google Sheets. The idea would then be that once the lead has been scored and captured in Google Sheets, you then transfer the lead from there to ClickUp, notify yourself about the lead, etc. ClickUp being the CRM, you could also use Pipedrive or Zoho, some other CRM tool. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you found it useful.